turned away and left me standing, well, all alone, yeah. Jesus, come, yeah. Jesus, come, yeah, yeah. One moment we're hand in hand, then a single set of footprints in the sand. Did you abandon me, or did you carry me? Was I too blind to see? What I thought was the beginning of the end. Turned out to be my father's perfect will for me.
Welcome to Laughter for All. It's the podcast with Comedian Nazareth.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Laughter for All podcast. I'm Comedian Nazareth here at the studios in Corona, California, and I'm excited to bring you another episode of podcast where we can laugh, learn, and be encouraged. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching on Facebook. So tell your friends, share it with your friends. If you're on Facebook right now, you can share it with your friends, share it on a page you have or whatever. But happy Valentine's Day. It was last Friday night. We celebrated Valentine's Day. I had a show on Friday night for Valentine. It's called Date Night. And the reason I didn't put it up on Facebook was already sold out before we even started most of the announcing. There were about 500 couples, and so what did we do this week? So Thursday afternoon, I had all my board and their spouses. Most of them, they flew in from Colorado and from Southern California, and we had our board meeting for Laughter for All. Laughter for All, if you don't know what it is like the Billy Graham Evangelical Association, except we use comedy as our tool to reach people for Jesus. Now, it is not just Nazareth concert called Laughter for All. It's an actual ministry with actual people, with actual 501c3 and actual thing. And our goal is twofold. Number one, to share the good news of Jesus Christ with people. But also the second reason we do that is we want to empower believers and encourage believers and just make believers want to go out and share their faith with other people. In California, the Change California campaign. And so far, the last couple of years with this vision that God gave us, as we're doing good, we're reaching the numbers we want to reach, 50,000 people every year. So praise God for that. So I want to clear that up because the board wanted to clear that up. Laughter for All is a standalone ministry. Comedian Nazareth it's my profession. I'm a comedian. I do this for a living, and I do share Jesus in my shows. If I'm at a comedy club, or if I'm doing churches, outreaches, pastors' conference, big events, I do that. Festivals, I do that on my own. Next week, what else is going on? So anyway, date night. Let's talk about date night. We had a couple that shared the stage with me, and they were 89 and 85. They're from England. They were pastors in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and their names escape me right now, but they're wonderful, wonderful people. And the question that was asked that really, and I'm sharing this because it's still Valentine, you're still having the overflow, of Valentine. The question that was asked that really hit home is like, what do you do when you're arguing with your spouse and you know you're right? How do you react to that? And the answer was from the wife, which was really amazing. She said, "We just take it to the throne of God. We go in on our knees together and we pray together, and we we argue with God in the middle." And it's completely different when you do it when God is in the center, in the throne of God. You take it to the throne of God. It's interesting. I was convicted because I don't pray with my wife much. I do. We have our quiet time alone. We have our hour each alone. We're probably sometimes we're like, I'm sitting on the couch, she's sitting at the kitchen table. We're doing our own Bible studies, and we're looking at each other, maybe sharing what God put on our hearts. But we did not pray together. We don't pray together, and that's something. It's my fault. It's my responsibility as a man. But a couple of my friends were there, and they were attorneys. One is a trial attorney, Doug Mahaffey, great guy. The other guy is Michael Reger on my board from Colorado, and his wife Cindy. So I had to talk about law, of course. And the thing is, here's what I was thinking about marriage. If you're married, or if even you're thinking about getting married, this is what you have to think. When you enter into a marriage, you're entering into an LLC, a partnership, which means that both of you commit to involving 50% of your time into this partnership. And the product that comes out of the partnership may be a child or two or three or four. And you commit both of you to spend time with these kids. And yes, you decide who's going to make the money, who's going to work, or both you work. Regardless, I get so many, not complaints, but asking for advice from women who say, my husband does not spend time with me at all. He's always working. He's always gone. 6 days a week, sometimes seven. Sunday they're sleeping because they're tired. And you know, it's too late. The kids are grown. You hear that. You hear different stories. And I just want to challenge you. If you're a businessman and you think you're successful because you're making a lot of money and your business is thriving, but your spouse at home is not satisfied, is not happy, she doesn't see you enough, then you're not a good businessman. You don't know how to delegate. You don't know how to, what your priorities are not right. It has to be God, your family, then your work. And if you put your work before any of these two, you're not successful. The world might appreciate you and give you the financial rewards and, the fame that comes with it. But other than that, you're not doing it. So I want to challenge you to do that, to spend time. I'm not saying I'm any better than anybody else, but that's something I always put my priorities there. I balance it at home, and I remember when my son turned 21, I asked him, I said, son, did I spend enough time with you? Was I gone a lot? He goes, no, you were there all the time. In fact, we got tired of you. We used to call your agent to book you so you can get out of the house. But this is what happened. Anyway, also this last week, I was in Wednesday night. My friend Gilbert Escoval, comedian, who's going to be with us next week, next Monday. He did something very interesting. He started something on Facebook, like Facebook Live, at 9:10 p.m. He said, Naz, that's when people are lonely at night. And people are sometimes anxious or depressed or something. It's at night. And he said, I'm going to start doing something. And he started doing where he plays music and has people name that song. And just having fun, coffee at night with people. And then he found out that there's so many people watching his live program and listening to him that were lonely, that some of them were depressed, never left the house. And there were, some were, cops who were with PTSD and other stuff they were listening to him, and they were commenting, they were asking for prayers. So what he did on Wednesday night, he started church on Facebook. Yes, live church on Facebook from 9 to 11 p.m. on Wednesday nights, and it's called G's Coffee Night Owl Hour. and it's really interesting. He will tell you about it next week, but really interesting. Over 7,000 people watched. There's about a few hundred people just commenting, asking for prayer, praying for the other people on the telling everyone, hey, you're not alone. We're here with you. We're praying with you. And they talk to one another. It just is church people. And he did some worship music. Then I shared some, a devotion or two. He did as well. He brought someone who sang a worship, music. And then a lady that shared her testimony. Just amazing. I was so on cloud nine going home to the point that I had a car in front of me. Yes, I hit my car and I hit him from the back, so it's my fault, even though I don't think so. But anyway, this is what happened this last week. And today I'm very excited to introduce a guest. She is our youngest guest, our most beautiful guest, and she is my daughter. She's 12 years old, and her name is Tali. Tali is very smart. Not because she's my daughter. We have the grace to show it, and we worked on History Day together about something breaking barriers, and we decided to work on Aretha Franklin, and she won the school History Day. She made it to district, and she won district. So now next she's gonna go. I think she got regional, and now county. He's gonna go to county and then state. So let me officially introduce Tali Joy. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
How old are you?
I'm 12.
Okay, and I'm your father.
Yeah.
And my wife Maha is your mother.
Uh-huh.
And we love you so much. So the reason I brought you here, because a lot of parents don't know what their kids think about, number one. Number two, how they get their information, what goes on at school, and stuff like that. And I'm not saying I know everything about you, so I figured the only way I can get your attention for an hour is to bring you in the show and tell you, you need to do your homework. No, no, but so let me start with this question. I'm going to ask you my question, and then I have questions from our listeners on Facebook, people who watch my live this morning, and they have questions. Also, you can join the conversation by dialing 712-775-8984, 712-775-8984, and then enter the number 205492. 205492. I'm sure Sean, our engineer, will write it down. We'll put it on the comments so you can see it and call. My question, Tali, you're in 6th grade right now.
Mm-hmm.
What do kids talk about at school?
We talk about a lot of things.
Like?
So sometimes it'll be about the news. Like if something important happened.
Like what?
Like,
what would be something important in the news?
Like when Kobe Bryant died and the helicopter crashed, like everyone was talking about it. And sometimes we'll just talk about school drama. Like,
give me an example of a school drama.
If someone likes someone and the other person likes him back, that's definitely something to talk about.
So what do you get? Is it that gossip or no?
It's not really gossip if everyone knows about it.
Oh, okay.
If the person that they like told their friends and the other person told their friends.
So what do you guys go, ooh, when they're together?
Like, not really together, but like, oh, I like you and you like me. We should date when we get older.
Oh, okay. So it's
usually,
like a pre-date.
Yeah.
But they like each other, and you guys, and everybody knows about it. Is it the way they look at each other? And
no, it's kind of like, hey, you're kind of cute.
Mm-hmm.
Want to be my girlfriend?
Do you think people should date when they're 12?
No.
No?
Why
not?
Not actual date, but if you have a crush, that's all right, and they like you back, that's pretty cool. But like, don't date until you're like 13 or older.
Okay, so it's so you're 12, so another year. But you're not
few
gonna...
months. I'm waiting till middle school. And if that doesn't work out, high school.
You're not waiting to date. You're waiting to just have allow someone to have a crush.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if a boy has a crush on you now, what do you tell him? What did I teach you to tell him?
My dad has a pretty cool knife collection. Still think I'm pretty? Are you allergic to a bullet?
Yes, I say that to my daughter to say to people, I don't care. Uh, what do you call it? So people have a crush, they like each other. It's not like they go talk, but just people know that they have a crush. So other dramas that happens at school.
Okay, so like almost every school has this, like even private schools. Not that I know of, but it's kind of common. Groups.
Groups.
Yeah. Um Usually it happens from kindergarten or just you meet someone and you're like really alike, so you make a group together. But I used to be in a group. It was with my friends, like we were really really close.
Now, this has happened just the beginning of the year, or it starts from like kindergarten?
Kindergarten.
Oh, you have the same group from kindergarten.
No,
You go.
no. But like we had a group from kindergarten and then it went all the way up to 5th grade. Then one of my best friends left and the group kind of fell apart.
Mm.
And then while my friend was still there, I joined another group, which I was in till now. And so, like, we were really good friends and, like, we'd talk about school and stuff. And then, out of nowhere, they kicked me out.
They
This
kicked you
year.
out of the group.
Yeah,
Now,
a
how
few
big
months
is the
ago.
group? How big is the
How
group?
big of the group is at the start of 6th grade, 9 people. When they kicked me out, let's see here. About including me, about 7 people.
My initial reaction as a dad, I want to go to school and beat him up. But the thing, okay, so it's like prison. Like every group is set by.
Yeah.
Now, is a group based on a certain what it look, certain racial back? No, just
No.
anything. Just make a group, and then who decides who to kick out someone or to join, have someone join,
There's usually a group leader.
and who votes him in?
The group leader. If the group leader says you're in, you're in.
So there's
Nobody has a say about it. It's the group leader. But if someone wants someone out, they'll tell the group leader and be like, you can go kick him out then.
So a dictatorship, right? Like one guy decides who, or one girl decides
It's
who.
not really democracy.
It's not a democracy, and that's not right.
Yeah, it's not.
But it
Like,
should be a more socialism. I think we
in-
need burn. No, I'm
Yeah.
just.
In my old group, like, if we wanted to play something, we'd always take a vote. Or if someone wanted to be in our special little group, we'll take a vote.
That's interesting. So it is fair. It is.
Like, we never kick someone out.
But
if
then
they
why
wanted-
did they kick
if-
you out?
Well, my old group never kicked someone out. Now, yeah, they kicked a lot of people out, actually. So, let's see here. When they kicked me out, it was kind of for no reason. It was just, like, kind of a joke. But I still hung out with them. And then later, like 2 days after, one of the girls was like, you know, Tali, you're kind of mean. And we don't want you in our group anymore.
Really?
Yeah, so, like, that kind of hurt my feelings. And I actually cried at school for, like, the first time.
Aw.
So at least I have my other friends to back me up. And, like, everyone was so mad at them. Like, who does that?
But then they couldn't get you back in the group.
No.
because- And who is she, that leader? Like, why is she making that decision?
I don't know.
Didn't you ask, like, who are you to tell me what to do?
Yeah, it was like, excuse me?
So is that bullying? Is that kind of bullying?
In a way.
In a way. What is bullying? How is bullying in school goes? What can
Like, the first thought that comes to my mind when someone says bullying, beating someone out.
That's the first thought.
That's the first thought.
Yeah.
Then if you go deeper, it's more of calling people names, not leaving them alone. Like, maybe taking their stuff and not giving it back.
And that happens at school.
Not the taking stuff, but more of calling names and, like, being mean. Just generally mean.
So, but if does everyone in the school is in a group, or there's people who are just like, you know?
There's people that, like, cruise around groups.
Oh, okay.
Like, when I left the group, I'd go to my friends, and then I'll go to my other friends. I called it being the lone wolf.
Oh.
You'd go into a pack, and if they don't like you, you'd leave and go into another.
And you're not bothered. You're not
No.
hurt. You have to have some kind of confidence to do that. Because some kids, you think they sit alone at lunch, nobody talks to them.
No, everyone sits together.
Really?
Everyone will talk.
Okay, you don't see kids running. Because I remember one time me and mom were telling you, like, if you see someone sitting by themselves at lunch, go sit with them, right?
Yeah, everyone, even though they might not be in a group, everyone sits at a table and talks to each other.
And they're talking to each other. So that's a good thing. Now, I have a question from Bridget from Chino Hill says, what currently is the biggest pressure for a 12-year-old when on the school campus?
Getting good or bad grades.
That's for you, or that's everybody thinks the same way?
That's like, if you get a bad grade and you tell your friends, they'll be like, are you serious? Because I thought you were good at that. I was like,
Oh.
yeah, it's kind of weird. So, like, if you get a good grade, you want to tell all your friends, right? But if someone gets a bad grade, you're kind of like, oh.
Okay. And
Okay.
people can not bully you, but I mean, they make you feel bad because...
Yeah, because
Oh.
you got a bad grade.
Is that because your school is good? It's public school. You're in public school, but is it because your school is strong or because that's
That's just the people inside it.
That's interesting. See, when I was your age and younger, I lived in Kuwait. You know that. So our teachers could say anything they want. They could scare you with anything. And my teacher used to say that there's a room full of mice, and if you don't behave and you don't do your homework, we're gonna rub you with oil and put you in that room where there's the rats and mice.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I wish.
Was there actually a room, though?
I don't know, but I mean, till this day, I can watch Ratatouille or go to Disneyland. But I mean, one time I went to Disneyland, I rubbed some essential oils. I'm going, Mickey's gonna bite me. But no, that's the kind of stuff. So I was like a young
We
man.
can't do that.
I did all my, yeah.
Or teachers can't do that.
You're born in America. Teachers can't do that. Teachers used to slap. Teachers used to hit you with a stick on your butt, and they used to do that. They don't do that. Maybe I didn't go to high schools in America. I went to college here, but I don't know. But now teachers don't have as much rights as
They don't have much authority.
authority. You're right. And so, how do you think your teachers deal with that? Do you think there's kids? I know you're still in 6th grade, but is there kids who are rude to the teacher?
Yeah, sometimes. Well, not exactly rude, but if the teacher says something like they think is weird, we'll kind of like mock it.
Oh, and the teacher can't do anything.
No. They can say, "Do you want your name on the board?" and get in trouble, but that's kind of really it.
Now, do you?
But
have...
if they take it serious, they can give you a citation, and if you get enough, you'll get suspended or expelled.
Okay, so there's still that authority.
There's
the
still
teacher...
like, if you're that bad, they still have authority.
Do you have kids in your school in your 6th grade that they still can't read?
Yes, a lot actually.
Are you
it's
serious?
surprising.
See, I heard that in the news, and I go, no, really, they still can't read.
Like,
is it because their English is a second language, or
no, like there are people born here who can't read.
they can't read?
Well, they can't they can read it, but even simple words they can't pronounce.
So how did they make it to 6th grade?
I have no idea.
Well, people, you
I
hear
feel
that
like-
frustration from that 6th grader. That tells you something
Like-
about our school system right now.
Like, really, if you're going to be in 6th grade, you have to be smart enough to be in 6th grade.
Right.
So, like, if you're going in 6th grade, but you can't read that well and you're going to middle school, you're going to fail.
Now, do you have kids that come from other countries, or their parents are from, like, maybe Mexico or some
Yes.
other or South America or some other country, maybe Middle East or India or something? Did they come here and they're struggling with the language, or they have a hard time?
Actually, a lot of people that, like, their parents aren't from America, they're one of the smartest kids.
Ooh, we're hitting political issues here, ladies and gentlemen, that we weren't planning on, but that's exactly why I brought Tali to the show, so we as adults can find out what's going on. So they're doing better than the kids that are here. Now, I have a question from Greg here. It says, have you experienced any bullying at school? And if so, how did you deal with it? Other than being kicked out.
Yeah, I've not really been bullied. I've been left out of stuff. And that was with my old group when I was younger. But hey, I was a first grader. I get offended at everything.
So now, what do you do if you find someone is bullying someone or saying, what do you do personally about it?
Honestly, this makes me feel like a bad person, but I just kind of look at it and walk away. I don't want to get involved.
You don't want to get involved. But that's honest. That's being honest.
Because if you get involved and a teacher sees you involved, you might get in trouble.
So that's... So you're the one that can get in trouble.
Yeah, if you get involved. Yeah.
And you tell them, I'm trying to stop a bully? Well,
like, if they're talking and you're like, I'm trying to stop, they won't listen to you. Because you don't know if the bully can be a really good liar and they look really good in front of teachers. Teachers will be like, there's no way they could do that.
Oh, I see. So it's you might get in trouble if you try to
Yeah.
protect. Oh, that's interesting to know because there's a lot of campaigns right now say, hey, don't allow the bully to get away. But I think they mean more of like physical stuff or something.
Yeah.
But even language, where the term sticks and stones might hurt, but words.
Will never hurt me.
Yeah, but they do hurt, right?
Yes.
So now, are you the most popular girl in school?
One of the most.
One of them.
Like, I'm not like popular like everyone crowds me, but like people even from like 5th grade, if they know me from student council, they'll be like, "Hi, Tali," and I'll be like, "Hi."
Okay, but what does it take to be? I mean, why do you think that is? Who?
You could have bad grades and you're popular. You're either pretty or you're just cool in general.
Is it the pretty? If they're pretty, they're popular, and if
Mostly.
they're cool, like people like them and they're
Yeah.
cool, okay.
Like, a sign of coolness is actually that you curse, that you don't care about school rules.
Are you serious?
Yes.
They cares,
Yeah, people
and that
curse.
makes people like you at school.
Yeah, you're like, wow, you're really cool. You're like rebellious. That's cool. I like that.
Oh, so it's a rebellious. So they use like bad words, like
Yeah.
F words and
Yes.
stuff. And what happened if the teacher find out?
People have told on them, but without using names. They're just people. I heard someone say this, or like say this bad word. And they'll be like, and then like the teachers, after everyone's in class, the teachers will be like, okay, someone told me that people are saying bad words, so I suggest that you stop.
I see. So so they're not cool, like careless enough and rebellious enough to say it in front of the teacher.
Yeah, no one does that.
No one does that, of course. Okay, so there's still hope for American schools still.
Yeah.
Okay, now what do you call it? What's the hardest thing you experience at school other than being left out or stuff like?
The hardest thing?
Mhm.
Liking your teachers.
You teacher's pet? Have you been teacher's pet for many?
Multiple times.
Multiple. I know you were.
Sometimes I'm the favorite of the class.
Do you think mom's expensive gifts have anything to do with it? I don't know. I just see my bank statement.
I mean, the flowers could have made me the teacher's pet. I don't know.
But your grades are very well. You've been principal's award and what do you call it?
Honor roll.
Honor roll.
Honor roll.
Since you started school. So that kind of, if I'm a teacher, I want to be, I'll be kinder or nicer or easier to have someone who very smart that help me. Do you help other kids who are having a hard time with their reading or stuff like that?
No, not really.
Not really.
Like, I can't really meet up with someone if I don't know them.
Oh, I see. Oh, no, I meant in class. Does the
In class?
teacher ask you, can you help this person?
No.
They don't. Okay, but they did last year, did they?
No.
No.
Not really.
Okay.
Like, the teachers are like, you need help at this? You're in 6th grade. You don't need help with this.
That's true. Now, do you think teachers share their own opinions, political views, stuff in school in your experience?
Not really. Like, they don't, almost like, at recess, if someone catches you talking about political stuff and tell on you, you can get in trouble.
Really? You're
Yeah.
not supposed to talk about politics?
Or religion, really.
Or religion?
Yeah.
Okay, so what does teachers think about the president, for example?
Like, I've told you this before, but Mrs. T, if like our president says like a speech and like it's really important and it's all over the news, Mrs. T will talk about it and she'll be like, and like some people mock Donald Trump actually.
At
Like,
school.
At school, they're like,
But isn't that political?
yeah, that's political.
That means
So,
they
like,
get in trouble.
if someone tells on them, yes, but usually no one does. Like, like Mrs. T, after like a speech that he does, the next day she'll be like, I may or may not disagree with him, and you too, but you still have to respect him because he's our president.
That's very wise. I don't think every school does that. I don't think every teacher goes and said, even though you agree or disagree, you still have to. So kids mock him without even knowing, like, or I think they watch the news and stuff. Now, where do you get your news? Where do you? I know I canceled the cable. I know, and I
But
hear
you'll
about
put it
it.
on Apple TV, and sometimes I'll like watch your phone when you're like on the couch, and I'll just sit right next to you and see. But
Mm.
like when you put on the news, that's kind of where I get my news from. Or when mom's on Instagram and something bad happens, I'll get that. But not really from school or anything. But like sometimes on YouTube, there'll be presidential ads.
Oh, they put presidential.
Yeah.
Even on
'Cause-
kids'
'cause-
kids stuff.
I don't watch Kids Tube.
Why didn't you watch Kids Tube? Kids Tube. Can you say
I-
Kids Tube 10 fast?
Kids
10
Tube,
times.
Kids Tube.
Kids
No.
Tube, Kids Tube, Kids Tube.
It's like Cats too.
Okay,
Okay,
while we're
but,
at
like-
this, I want you guys to know you can call us if you have any questions, any concerns. You can give us a call at 712-775-8984. 712-775-8984. And you dial 205-492. If you're watching, it's on this little beautiful screen. Anyway, so there is something called Kids Tube, right?
Kids Tube. Or just Kids YouTube. It doesn't really matter. There's regular YouTube and Kids YouTube. Kids YouTube, they don't put anything like adults or anything, even the ads. Not
No
adults or
ads on
anything.
Kids Tube.
No, there is ads, but not like stuff about adults and like presidential ads.
I see.
But like, I don't like watching Kids Tube
Why not?
because, like, I don't know, was it last year or 2018? I don't remember. But remember Momo?
Oh yeah.
People can hack into Kids Tube.
Oh, so it wasn't okay. It wasn't secure enough. So
No,
yeah.
People-
So Momo, that's the guy that caused people to commit suicide and stuff.
one kid.
One kid.
One kid in America. But a lot of people were really scared. Like, a lot of kids were really scared.
It was scary, huh? He looked
Yeah.
scary. So they
It's
hacked.
very disturbing.
Very disturbing. And some people try that, huh? Now on regular YouTube.
On regular YouTube, no one really hacks into it because they already know it's full of stuff not for kids.
I see. So people some trying to be mean to kids. That's what they did. Okay, now before I go to the social media and stuff, while we're still on the topic of schools, what do you think? Are you scared about school shootings? You hear about school shootings?
No, it's Corona, and as Carol, my sister, says, Barona, because it's boring.
I apologize for every Corona resident in this
Nothing
state.
really happens here.
But that's good news to know that we're safe. We're not.
We're safe and boring.
But for example, let's say, okay, is there something the school that's doing to prevent that, or do you guys have like what do you call them?
Lockdown.
Lockdown. So what happened during lockdown? If there's
Okay, so if like a suspicious guy like walks around the school and people don't know who he is, and he's kind of like dark and he's not talking to anyone, they'll put us on lockdown. Or if he has a big dog with him, then they'll put us on lockdown.
Why does he have to be dark?
And I'm not saying like skin color, but like,
oh, like
if he's
wearing hoodies. And
yeah,
stuff.
wearing hoodies and
Yes,
just
I'm sorry. I just want to clarify
generally
that.
just
because-
walking around the school.
All right. Just want to clarify.
Yeah, like they'll turn the lights off and put air conditioning on.
That's what they do. Oh, if there's lockdown, if
Yeah.
they have someone suspicious, they turn the lights off and turn the air conditioning on?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think if they break in and they don't see us, like, the coldness would probably be like, no one's in here.
Oh, or maybe. So you, in hot days, you guys want someone to break.
Yeah.
I'll be walking
Honestly.
down the school with my hoodie dark enough with my dog. My dog is too small for that. Okay, so do they have earthquake drills?
Yeah,
Okay, so,
we already had one. It's called the Great Shakeout.
mm-hmm.
It's like sometimes people will act like hurt. Like the teachers tell them act hurt. So like it's really like practice and stuff.
So now, so you're not scared. Is there kids who are scared of like, oh, there may be shooting?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of. Okay, but you're
If they are, they probably don't say it.
okay. That's good. Let's see. I want to ask you a question. And at home, when you're at school, do you have poor kids in the school?
Yes,
You do.
a lot actually.
And what is the school doing about that? It's a public school. What are
Nothing really.
they don't feed them for free.
No. Lunch is like $3.75, and breakfast I don't really know how much, but probably the same price.
You don't think they get free breakfast?
Nope.
Okay, now, considering, do kids talk about troubles they have at home?
No.
They don't?
Like sometimes they'll mention like my parents are divorced or like they live in separate houses,
Mm.
but like nothing really like you have a big talk about everything.
But didn't you have a friend
Yeah,
that,
one of my friends, her parents divorced recently actually, and like she was really sad sometimes, so we just hug her and talk about happy stuff.
oh,
Like if she was really really sad, it'd be like, guess what? I'm getting a puppy. Because we are getting a puppy, Dad. You know that.
Are we? If,
Yes, we are.
If we can find a large dog that does not shed and not just a poodle.
Yeah, no
Because
poodles.
poodles, a man
Not
should
scary.
never own a poodle. If we want something that looks scary but doesn't shed, let us know. We'd love to get the puppy. But anyway, so they don't, so you try to comfort them and console them, and that's why I want people to know. Remember, if you're so selfish in your marriage and you think it's all about you and you're not getting what you want out of it, and you feel you deserve better, I want you to remember your kids are hurt because of that, and not only at home when you're fighting with your spouse, they do it, they go to school hurt, and that impacts their life. And thank God for people like you, Tali, who can cover. Do you think me and Mom fight?
No. Sometimes you'll argue about something, but it doesn't take more than 10 minutes.
10 minutes? That long?
No, it doesn't.
My attention span is not that long. And your mom is the type that always like she makes up fast. She's like, oh, and then she just turns it like, okay, hey, and then we're back to normal,
Yeah.
so, which is good. But how do you feel like if we're fighting? We don't normally scream. Me and Mom, we don't scream at each other. But
I'm
if
literally just like, can you please stop? I'm trying to do my homework here so I can play Roblox later.
Okay, so that's good. So you have that
I
security.
don't really care that much.
Good, because you're secure. You know me. I love Mom, and she loves me, and till death do us part. There's no question about that. So that's what parents should. A lot of parents, let that kid know there's that comfort. There's that confidence that our home is secure. Mom and Dad love each other, and if they argue sometimes, it's because. So, do you love me more or Mom more?
I'm guessing you already know the answer.
I know, but it's not favorable. My answer's not. I remember one time. Remember when you were like 4, and Mom had to
Memory
go.
doesn't start until like 5.
Oh, that's
But
right.
like,
That's why when you were 3 and 4, I took you to Disney World. I took you to the Wall of China. I took you to Moscow. I took you all over on a tour, cruise
Yes.
around the world.
yes.
But you don't remember any of that.
Nope.
Oh, good. Thank you. Anyway, question about where you make me forget my question, but we were talking about. Yeah, I remember when you were 4, Mom had to go to Baltimore.
Yeah.
For, for an
Oh, I
emergency.
do remember that.
Yeah,
I
for
do
Baltimore.
remember
And
that.
you were so attached to
I
mom.
was very sad.
Yeah, you were so attached to mom. And then for the first 2 days you cried, but then you hugged me in bed. You were like hugging me and sleeping, and then we connected and we became friends. And I'm like, I can't wait for mom to come home to find out that Tali would just wave hi to her because she's daddy's girl now. And we go to the airport, and guess what happened? You just ran to mom, and like I'm a stranger for the next till now. Okay, so let me ask you about. We talked about YouTube and we talked about KidsTube and what kind of social media are you on?
I have a Snapchat.
Okay,
I used to have an Instagram. I forgot the password to, but
that's
all I
but you're not on Instagram.
no, all I did was just look at Star Stable updates. That's
Okay,
kinda
for
it.
the Star
And-
Stable is a
and
horse.
yeah, horse game.
Yeah,
And just like look at pictures of really cute horses.
and
That's kinda
what?
it.
Tell people what is Snapchat? What is it?
Snapchat, take a picture, send it to someone after they see it. It'll be gone in 24 hours.
But it's only for people you know. It doesn't go to the whole world.
No.
Okay.
And there's a my story and our story. If you put it on our story, people can all over the world can see it.
I
But if
see.
you put it on my story, only your friends can.
What about Uvu? Do you?
Uvu, never heard of it.
You never heard of Uvu? Good.
Nope.
Okay. What about Kick?
I used to have Kick
What
on
is
my
Kick?
iPod. I remember the colors were black and green,
Uh-huh.
and it was something you just message your friends on, kind of like iMessages.
Oh,
Or-
what about TikTok?
TikTok, I have a TikTok.
What is TikTok?
TikTok, you make a video with the song playing in the background. You can do weird things like making funny faces or just doing weird things like blowing up a balloon with water and then stabbing it.
Mm.
That's what we did once, but
You stabbed the balloon in my house?
Dad, you were a witness.
Oh, that was the
Yeah.
one you and John. Oh, that was just trying. Oh, it's like a trick. You
Yeah,
didn't stab it. You poked the balloon.
with a knife, but
Yeah,
that's
stabbing is a whole different. Yeah, that's like that. So so
But
you're
like
in
TikTok, you do a dance and then you post it, and then you get famous.
and who what is getting?
Everyone can see it.
Everyone can see it on TikTok. So whatever you put on TikTok, everyone can see it.
Yeah, unless TikTok thinks it's not appropriate, they'll take it down.
Do you think people put inappropriate stuff on the kids' stuff? Like,
TikTok, there isn't really a kids filter and an adults filter. But of course, if you do something bad, as soon as TikTok see it's gone.
no, do you?
But sometimes there will be songs with bad words. I don't really do dances, but sometimes my friends do ones.
Okay. But have you experienced bad stuff on social media? Personally.
If it's ads, then yes. But I already told you what I do. I scroll down to the comments and mute my sound. But it's kind of only ads. That's all I.
Do you think
Really
me and
see.
mom are not careful about what you watch, or are we watching you? Are we? Because I have to tell people we never had any computers or anything in the house other than in the living room. Our kitchen, living room together is open, so the computer right in the center. So everything our kids are on the computer
You
is
can see.
we can see it. Yeah, they're not allowed to do anything.
And as you can see, I only watch Flamingo.
I know you only watch Flamingo. Flamingo is from Roblox. It's this kid that plays Roblox.
22-year-old man, actually.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I listened to him. I watched, and he didn't say or do anything questionable. He didn't look questionable. So I listened to a lot of stuff he said, and he's okay. He's just a kid. But I mean, move on, buddy. You're 22. What are you doing?
He's been playing for about 12 years now.
Oh, he's been playing for 12 years. Well, he needs a job. That's what he needs. So what? Do your friends watch bad stuff?
The group I was in, like, not the old one in 5th grade, but, like, the one they kicked me out of, I think they do.
They do. Do they talk about it? Like they come and guess what I saw yesterday on this?
Sometimes.
And what do you do?
I'm like, I just back away and let them talk until they're done, and then I'll change the subject.
You're a good girl.
But, like, actually, people make jokes about Pornhub. They actually make jokes. Like, if a teacher isn't in the computer lab, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to go into this and that. And I'm like, hey, guys, guess what? You shouldn't. Because it's going to be on your history.
Right.
And people can see if you delete your history.
Right. Right. Oh, so you do know about Pornhub and stuff like that? That's sad.
I know. Like, they're 6th graders. They shouldn't know about it until they're, like, in high school or college.
So what advice do you give kids on social media sites? What do you recommend? You just give us some good things
Avoid
or boundaries you put for yourself. And you actually put them for yourself. And that's why sometimes, you're only allowed, 2 hours of computer a day. But me and Mom we know that you have boundaries, even though we still have to check because we trust you a lot, but we don't trust the world around you. So what advice do you give kids on social media?
avoid, like, for girls, avoid models. Because Carol tells me that the more you look at that, the more you think that should be your standard. For guys, I don't really know. Just avoid bad stuff. Like, avoid, like, following models. Because then the same thing, that's going to be your standard for girls. And the model standard is going to be like this, and then your standards will go from this to here.
What do you think your standards for a girl? What is it? You
For a girl?
personally for you.
Personally, for me, I mean, if I was a guy, I wanted a Christian girl. Looks good, but not like, wow, all I care about is my looks.
Oh.
Like, if I was a guy, I would not want a necessarily ugly girl. Because, your friends are going to talk bad about your girl.
Right.
So, like, you want a pretty girl, but you don't want someone who's like, everything about me has to be perfect, and if I have one flaw, the world is ending.
Right. You don't want that. No, so, and you're not that kind of girl.
No.
Good.
Like, if I have a scratch, I'm like, wow, I have a scratch. Isn't that cool?
What do you think of girls that just show their skin and all that? And
Personally, we're not allowed to because school.
yes.
So I don't really know. But, like, if we're at the mall and I see a girl, like, wearing shorts that are literally at her waist, I'd be like, looking away.
Looking away. Yeah, they shouldn't. Okay. Do you think it's a parent's job or the government's job to protect children from bad advertising and bad media?
Parents.
Parents. Okay.
But honestly, the government shouldn't put bad ads on what kids are watching.
I see. Okay, yeah, so they should restrict that.
So
Okay.
kind of both.
Okay.
But, like, parents should check what their kid's watching.
Right. And we do that. And Mom is very, very strict about that, which is good. That's what moms do. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Tali?
Owning a horse.
Owning a horse. You love riding horses, and you've been every week, unless it's windy or raining.
Yeah.
But you love, and you wanted to be an Olympic horse rider one day?
Correct.
So one day, hopefully, if God blesses my comedy, I'll be able to we'll buy a house that has a place where we can put a horse. I can't put them in the garage because I have so many
Or
stuff
just
in
like-
the garage.
Or we
can
can
add
have
more.
enough money for boarding.
For boarding, yeah. And okay, what is your favorite thing about yourself?
Let's see here, that I have a good sense of humor and that I'm Christian.
Okay, speaking of sense of humor, sometimes what did I do in the past? Well, like when you go open your lunch, what do you see in your lunchbox?
Sometimes it's a note.
What does it say?
Says, I love you, and sometimes you'll put a cringy joke.
Yes, I put a lot of
Cringy
stuff jokes in there just for you, so you can share it with your friends.
And no, I don't share it with my friends. If they ask me, what's that? I'm like, nothing for you to see.
And it's clean jokes, right?
It's clean jokes,
Of
but
course.
like,
They're just
they're gonna laugh at
corny.
me.
They're corny.
and cringy.
Okay. How do you think people make their money, Tali?
Working.
Working? You think it's easy to work? It's hard to make money, or it's easy?
What I think of working is just like you sit at a desk and type on your laptop, and then you're like, money.
So, but do I do that?
When I'm standing, like you're on your computer and I'm standing right here and looking at you, you're like, what are you typing that's making you money?
I don't type, but I make my money when I'm on stage. That's what I make. But until I get to stage, I have to, you know, book shows, write comedy, help other people, do the Laughter for All stuff and all that. So, what age do you think parents should allow their kids to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend?
I think I already said that earlier,
You
but
did, but repeat it.
13 and older.
13, and I think 13 is old enough to be a boyfriend, girlfriend.
If you're 13, you should be mature enough to have one.
What does your mom think? What age should you have a boyfriend?
My mom says 85.
85. That's the grudge. And
That's
she's being
Mom.
gracious.
She's being gracious.
Yes.
At least she's not saying a day before you die.
Are you happy you were born in America?
Yes.
Why?
Because I know in other states
Other
or
countries.
other countries or sometimes continents, if you don't do a certain thing, you can get killed or arrested. While in America, it's a free country. You can do whatever you want as long as you're following the law.
Right. Is America a rich country? You think we're a rich country?
Yeah.
Yes.
If the president is a billionaire, then I think America is rich.
Oh, that's your standard, the measure.
That's my standard.
But Obama wasn't rich.
I mean, George Washington wasn't either, was he?
I don't know. Was he? He had a horse. He had wooden teeth.
I mean, that's all right.
Yeah, we are the wealthiest country in the world. We are the wealthiest. And why do you think our country is good? I mean, you still think our country is good? You know, a lot of people in the news say how bad our nation is getting.
Yeah.
And stuff. Do you think
I think it's getting worse, honestly, because we're in the last days. That's what I think.
What do you mean for in the last days? For
Like-
people who don't.
Like in Revelation, it's gonna be like the end of the world.
How many times have you read Revelation?
Some are reaching about 10 times or more.
10 times.
I'm still reading it now.
Right, and
I've read the Left Behind series
but you read the Bible every
every day.
day.
Not during school days, but you'll read some to me.
Yes, sometimes I do a quick devotion in the morning for you. And
Mom,
that's,
getting ready.
Yeah. Do you think you have freedom to say anything you want nowadays?
Not really. Like, are you saying like bad words or and just
No, anything. Do you feel free to say anything you want?
At school? Honestly, no.
No.
Because then you'll get judged for it. Like you say, like, oh, I like this. They'll be like, are you serious? That's not cool. I don't want you as my friend anymore.
Wow. So, what do you think a Christian should act like?
I think that they should please God in everything they do.
Mm-hmm.
And just don't hang around the bad people unless you're going to tell them something about God.
That's a very good advice.
Like, the old group I was with when they kicked me out, they said they were Christian. And I was like, okay, yay, you're Christian. Before they kicked me out. But then when they kicked me out, I finally realized how bad they were. So one day I came up to the group leader and I was like, you know how you say you were Christian? And he was like, yeah. I was like, you guys really aren't acting like it. And then I walked away because the bell rang.
Okay. Well, that's good. You said your mind, and that's what do you call it? What advice would you give girls your age who are trying to live a life for Christ? What would you tell them?
If your school allows it, share the gospel.
If your school allows it.
Because sometimes schools will be like, oh, you're not allowed to talk about religion here.
They say that? Does the teachers, or is it in the...
like it's not really in the rules, but like teachers will say like don't make people uncomfortable by saying you're this or you're that.
Oh, I see. So you have a lot of different religions in your
Yeah.
school? You have Muslim, Buddhist, Christians, and other
Yeah.
Jewish.
But honestly, when people like talk about religion, it's either you're Christian or you're not.
Okay, so that's still in the school. That's
Mm-hmm.
you're either Christian or you're not. Okay, and what do you tell parents who fight a lot?
I don't really know what to say because you guys don't fight a lot. I just feel like, honestly, just care about your children. You're just thinking about how you feel. Think about what your children are feeling right now.
That's very good advice, Tali. You know what? Yeah, this has been an amazing program. You have. Is there anything on your mind you want to share?
I want to say about school, you know how I said they kicked me out of group?
Yeah.
They kicked one of like their main people out.
Why?
Like, it started with 3 guys, and they were like best friends. Like, they didn't care about what color they were, what religion they were. They were best friends. And like, they were still best friends until 6th grade. They were still best friends for like the beginning of the year, but like a few weeks ago, they kicked one of the main guys out.
Why?
Well, not really kicked out, but he left because they were making racist jokes.
Oh, he was not.
Yeah, he was African American.
Really?
Yeah,
So is that the age where some people feel
like break up or something.
because of
like,
that?
Yeah.
You think
Like-
that has to do with their parents, right? Not being, nice enough, or it's being racist?
No, I think no.
No?
I don't think so.
What do you
I think it's just. I think they think it's cool to make fun of people.
Mm.
Yeah, so like, one of the jokes I know they made about him was, like, someone held up a brown or black colored pencil and be like, "Look, it's this guy."
Oh, that's sad.
And his buddy, his 1st grade buddy, said when the teacher asked him, like, "Who's your buddy in this class?" The little kid said, "He's black." And like everyone was laughing, but it wasn't really offensive because it's like a 5-year-old. They don't really know if it's bad or not.
I see.
But like when you're like 12 or 13, you know what you're doing.
Right. That's sad.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what? I think you guys should say something. Like when someone says something like that, you guys should say stop.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I did. I was like, after I heard about that, I went up to them. I was like, dang, you guys are cold. You kicked out a guy because of his skin color? What is this, 1972? This is 2020. Why would you do that? They're like, we didn't. It was just a joke. I was like, if it was a
It's not.
joke, why don't you go tell him that?
Wow. That's powerful, Tali. I think every student should stand for what's right at the school and to stop the bullying and stuff. I want to thank you so much for being on our show. I'll tell you why. There are certain things we didn't know about, and you hear it in the news, but you don't believe it. Stuff like the education system is very weak. Like there's a lot of kids in
Yeah.
6th grade can't read, and that bullying does, happen. And a lot of other stuff about how you should be a Christian. If you say you're a Christian, you should live like a Christian. So this is amazing. I'm really thankful that you are on your show. I'm very proud to be your father, and now everybody knows why. So any last words you want to share?
This is something funny, but
Yeah, this is
last
called
night-
Laughter for
yeah,
All, so we need to be funny.
So last night we were at UCLA with
Right.
Carol.
I was there.
Yeah, and me and John were waiting for Carol, and like there was this little sign that said "Inspiration for the Week," and so I got up off the couch and I went over there and I went to the middle of the room and I was like, "Inspiration for the week." don't be pushed by your problems, be led by your dreams. And I was
Oh.
like, good luck on midterms, Bruins. Like, because that's what the sign said. And I was like making all these funny hand motions.
Oh, I see. You were reading what they wrote.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I
I
was like,
see.
yeah, don't do this.
Would you go to UCLA if you graduate?
Yeah, sure.
What do you want to study?
I know.
You don't know? Okay.
I still have 7 years, Dad.
So you're still undecided.
Nope.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Guys, thank
Yay.
you so much for listening to the Laughter for All podcast. We are improving stuff as far as the lights, the cameras, maybe the
action.
format. Maybe we'll go to YouTube. But next week, please join us, Gilbert Escoval. We're going to laugh. Put your political correctness aside next week because we're going to laugh. He's Latino, I'm Middle Eastern. Come on. And we're going to be real. So
It's already been an hour?
it's already been an hour.
Oh,
Thank you
okay.
so much. I was really concerned about our show, me and you, because I thought you'll answer yes. And I didn't know you're that wise. You're good. I'm going to raise your allowance. I don't even give you an allowance. I just give
I
you
already
money
have
when
like $3,000.
you know, I don't.
Why don't you give me some more?
I'll give you more, whatever you want. I'll let mom handle the allowance thing. I just give you, because I'm bad, I just give you whatever you want, which is not good.
Not bad for me.
You're not getting
bad
paid
for
for this event.
me.
You're not getting
What?
paid.
I'm not?
I'll pay your gas. So how much gas
I don't
did
have
you?
a car yet.
Then good. Well, thank you so
Maybe
much.
get me a car and then you can pay for my gas.
I made the mistake twice. I'll do it one more time. You know that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Please, please, please go and tell your friends to subscribe to our podcast. You can go to laughterforallpodcast.com, laughterforallpodcast.com. You'll see videos and podcasts from the past that we've done in the last 25 shows. And also, you can subscribe on all those social, what do you call it, podcast, channels. You can pick one on that website and do it. And just let your friends know about it. Share it with people. Because we learn a lot. We laugh sometimes a little, sometimes a lot. But we do learn a lot. And we do encourage you through this. So thank you for watching. I want to thank Sean, our engineer, and John Riscalla for working with us today, getting all this, looking good. So thank you guys so much, and God bless you. Until next week, may the Lord be with you.